Tomorrow is National Day of Truth and Reconciliation in Canada. First of all, I want to respectfully acknowledge that I reside on the unceded and traditional lands of the Cayuse, Umatilla, and Walla Walla, Stolo, Kwakwa, Semiahmoo, Hulquinam Treaty Group, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Stuminus. All profits of this video will be donated to the IRSSS, which stands for Indian Residential School Survivors Society. So make sure you watch all the way to the end so that it can create as much profit as possible. If you don't know what the IRSSS is, it's a provincial organization that provides essential services to residential school survivors and families experiencing intergenerational trauma. For anyone that is learning about Indigenous history, I want to remind everyone that this is not just some holiday that you get off. September 30th is a day to honor those that survived and the children that never made it home. I want to talk a little bit about why we wear orange shirts. So in 1973, Phyllis Webstead went to her first day of residential school minutes away from Williams Lake, BC. Her mother gave her an orange shirt and it was soon stripped away with a uniform. Reconciliation is about taking action. So if you want to participate and learn about the Indigenous history, I have some books that I want to recommend. These books have challenged and expanded my understanding of Indigenous history, abuse, and perseverance. So the first book I have is The Inconvenient Indian by Thomas King. It's a heartbreaking novel. It recounts the history of Indigenous people in North America. It reminds that white oppression is systemic and is not a thing of the past. The novel is a mix of personal stories of Thomas King and also historical facts. So this is a really good read. I highly recommend. So this is the next book that I want to recommend. It is The Marrow Thief by Cherry Dimeline. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. It is a fiction book, but it is an extended metaphor based in real life. The story is about a young boy named Frenchie. He lives in a post-apocalyptic world where everyone loses the ability to dream. So the only way to dream is by killing Indigenous people, because Indigenous people are the only ones that are able to dream. They did not lose that ability. So the government decides to hunt them down in a horrifying way, but it is very similar to residential schools. Okay, so another book that I want to recommend, I kind of wrote a little bit about it because I haven't read it yet. It is called Half-Breed by Mariah Campbell. Okay, so Half-Breed is a metaphor. A true story can really be hard to read sometimes. As a Métis woman growing up in Saskatchewan, the newer copies have a front dedication page. There is a letter written by Kim Anderson. Kim Anderson is a famous Indigenous feminist in Canada. It talks about Mariah Campbell's ongoing work with missing and murdered Indigenous women and children, also about systems of oppression how they have and haven't changed in the last 46 years since the book has been released. And another book that I'm not going to go into any detail in, these are also two books that I haven't read as well, but I really want to read. It's called Seven Fallen Feathers and Indian Horse. I believe Indian Horse is a documentary. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. I encourage everyone to wear orange shirts on September 30th. To participate in community events and to educate yourself about the history and to honor Indigenous people. September 30th is a day where we grieve about the survivors and the children that never made it home. Masi. Thank you.